Hey everybody, Don Georgevich here with Job Interview Tools, and today I want to talk to you about interviewing with a stutter. Like if you have a stutter, how should you conduct yourself in a job interview? Now I don't get a lot of questions about this, but once in a while someone will email me and they'll be like, hey Don, I have a stutter. How do I handle that in a job interview? Well, I'll tell you, the best way to handle a stutter in a job interview is just to call it out, just to call attention to it. Like as soon as you sit down with them, or whether you sit down with them on the phone or over Zoom or Skype or anything, just call it right out and say, you know what, as we get going, as we start talking, you'll probably notice that I have a stutter. Don't apologize for it. Just call attention to it, because you're not sorry that you have it. You don't want them to feel bad that you have a stutter. You're just acknowledging that, you know what, you have somewhat of a physical disability. I don't know if it's a physical disability or not, but you have a stutter and you just want to call attention to it. And that will make them feel more comfortable around you, because that's probably more of the way you're feeling is you're having a conversation with somebody, and if you're stuttering, you kind of feel bad. Maybe you even feel a little bit embarrassed about it. Now, I don't have a stutter, so I can't speak from personal experience there. But if I were dealing with somebody with a stutter, it doesn't bother me at all that they stutter. It just, I instantly recognize that they have that, and I just accept it. Now, other people who aren't used to maybe dealing with a lot of people, you might make them feel uncomfortable. So you just call attention to it. You're like, hey, you know what? I have a stutter, and you might notice that as we go through the interview. And I'll give you a good example. I was recently at a college campus where we were going to see a seminar, and the instructor who got up there, right off the bat, before he did anything, he told the audience, he says, hey everyone, I just want to let you know that I have a stutter, and it's probably going to pop up during this presentation. Now, as he started off, the first 5 or 10 minutes, I didn't hear any stuttering at all. I'm like, I don't know what this guy's talking about. But then as he got going, he got deeper into his material, then he started stuttering. And you know what? It wasn't bad. Every, 5 words or something, he'd get stuck on a word and he'd, stutter to try to get it out. But you know what? He called attention to it in the beginning. He didn't apologize for it. He just said, I have a stutter. And, that's just the way it is. He did a great presentation. He felt more comfortable with his audience because he had already called attention to it. Now, some people stutter, it might be constant. It might start as soon as the interview goes on, and it might last the whole way. It might get worse. Now, for this guy, for this instructor, he started off without a stutter, but as he got into the content, he may have gotten more nervous, and then his stutter kicked in. Now, for me, when I'm giving a presentation, I'm usually more nervous in the beginning. And until I get warmed up, until I get comfortable with my audience or whoever I'm talking to, and then I ease into it, and then I'm not so nervous. So even when I make these videos for you here, I'm usually a little bit nervous as soon as I start off, because I'm just looking at a camera. And I have to imagine that you're out there, that you are real people. You're not just this camera lens that I'm staring at. So every time I start a new video, I have to get over that hurdle. And I've been making videos here for, 10 or more years now, and I still can't get over that. I have to work through that initial thing of staring at the camera and imagining that you're out there, that you're sitting across from me, and we're having a conversation. Maybe we're in a Starbucks coffee shop and we're just talking. And that's really what I'm seeing when I'm talking to you through the lens. But it's hard. I don't start off that way. And that's a small problem that I have. Now, I don't really call attention to that. I just dive in and I just do it. So, but if you have a stutter and you have an interview, just let them know. And if, let's say you're corresponding with them through email and you're setting up a video interview or an in-person interview, Let them know in the email. Say, hey, when we get on the phone tomorrow or we get on Zoom tomorrow, I just want to let you know ahead of time that I do have a stutter and it's probably going to come out during our conversation. I don't think it's going to impact anything. You're still going to learn everything you need to know about me. So when you put it all like that, you put your audience at ease and you make them feel comfortable. And you can use this strategy really for anything. It doesn't have to be a stutter. I mean, you could be hard of hearing in one ear. Like my wife, for example, she has a very hard time hearing out of her right ear. So she will tell people that if she's having a conversation, she's at an event, she'll let them know. She'll say, hey, I have a hard time hearing out of my right ear. Please try to direct your voice into my left ear. That way I can hear you better. She's calling attention to it. So before you go into an interview, if there's something that is going to make you feel uncomfortable, it's going to affect you from maybe delivering the best possible interview that you can, just let them know. Call attention to it. That way you don't have to wait for them to figure it out on their own, and which might make them feel uncomfortable. And especially like with my wife and her ear, she doesn't want to be telling people, what did you say again? What did you say? I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. I mean, they're going to be like, what are you, hard of hearing? Are you deaf? So by calling attention to it, you just make it a lot easier for the other person or people that you are dealing with, and you overcome obstacles and hurdles and little impairments like that. So that's all I got for you today. Now, before your next interview, make sure you head on over to jobinterviewtools.com and check out the complete interview answer guide, because inside this guide, it's going to show you how to answer some of the most common questions. Now, I actually don't have the stuttering question in here. I don't put every tiny little detail, but I do put a lot of good content in here. And I do show you how to answer some of the most common questions, behavioral questions, tell me about yourself, why do you want to work here, all that kind of stuff. And it's also, you can get this stuff on audio. You want to download all the audio tracks. You can basically download this whole book on audio tracks, put it on your phone, take me with you wherever you want if you like listening to me all the time. But I got to figure, if you've been around my YouTube channel enough, you're probably tired of listening to me. But there is a lot of good stuff in here. And this book is also on video, so if you like to learn by watching videos that cover that, or if you like the hard copy, you want a physical book, there's a lot of people, they're like, you know what, I don't want that digital stuff, I want the book. Well, you know what, I got the book here, and I'll be happy to ship this out to you. So, my friend, that's all I have for you in this video. And if you have a stutter, make sure you call it out to your interviewer, and it won't be an issue anymore. All right, my friend, good luck on your next interview, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye now.